So Johnathan Wright had his grand opening for his hair store yesterday. The hair gallery in Houston, Texas. He was giving out free supplies, free hair, and free wigs. And everything was going good till it went wrong. I showed y'all ass at that main establishment yesterday. Who don't want a free wig or free bundles? But for y'all to act a complete ass and get the police called out there because y'all was acting like hyenas and fighting over wigs, he couldn't even really enjoy his moment because literally the whole Houston, Texas police department was out there.
I came with my friend. It was already 5 in the morning. It was wrapped around. So we was just trying to get the back to school deals. I have a daughter. I wanted to get her some barrettes, some beads, the little girly things for her. Didn't even get to get in. They started fighting over bundles, fighting over wigs. I feel like if they had the proper structure, form the lines, like the barricade and stuff, then it would have went smoother because it would have been no room for anybody to cut. And they also started forming another line on the other side. People got maced. Police came out.
You know what happens when you don't take accountability for your actions and you don't exercise discipline? You are literally positioning yourself and your community to be over policed. So saying things like they should have had barricades so people know not to cut the line. People should know not to cut the line. People should know to be respectful of other people. People should know not to be throwing bowls for no wigs. So this is why you have big police budgets in certain neighborhoods or certain areas, or more police presence, because you have people in that area who refuse to simply govern themselves. In certain neighborhoods, when you go into the grocery store or you go into certain stores, if you walk in with a bag that is not your purse, that bag has to be checked in the front. In the beauty supply store, they got someone sitting on a ladder looking over to make sure you're not stealing. You go into the CVS, the Walgreens, or the Target, and everything's locked up in a glass case. You can't even buy $5 toothpaste without pressing the little red button to get someone to come get your $5 toothpaste out the case. Listen, at this point in my life, I'm like, defund the police is racist. It is an attack on the middle class people who own homes, who live in the ghetto, but ain't ghetto. It's an attack on those people who use their savings, use their hard-earned money to buy a house in the neighborhood that they grew up in, or a neighborhood that they can afford, and they just want to live peacefully. When you defund the police, you leave those people at risk. And some of you who either have left the hood a long time ago and moved to white neighborhoods, or some of you who are still in the hood and know at the first chance you get, you're going to take that money and you're going to move to a white neighborhood. Some of you bought into this nonsense about defund the police. Now, police reform, that is one thing. But defund the police is some nonsense, and y'all know it. And the reason why you should know it is because they have not presented an adequate solution. You had black women attacking other black women over hair. And the people talking about defund the police want to send in counselors. They don't care about you. Cities don't just decide to add extra police just because they want to spend the extra money and they want you to be uncomfortable or they want to discriminate against you. It's because you live in a hot spot. I saw a comment where someone said, oh, that hairstylist knew what kind of crowd he was going to get. That hairstylist knew his crowd was going to be ghetto. His crowd and his primary customer base are black women. And so are we admitting, because I've seen other comments from black people that are like, oh, they so embarrassing, or, that's ghetto, and like, oh, he knew what to expect. Are we admitting that we have a cultural issue here? And I'm speaking as someone who was a former crash out, okay? Even while saved. Someone who thought it was okay to just wild out when you don't get your way. A lot of that comes from a spirit of anger that you're sitting with, and you just accepted it as culture, as a part of who you are. And you have to come to the realization that yes, it's the culture that you grew up in, but it's not how God made you. God said he is pleased with a gentle and quiet spirit.